5, 4, 3.
Can you please put that in there? So welcome to another week of No Cap with the boys. The whole panel's here today. Good to see you all.
Yeah, sponsored by Body Envy Massage, Sydney's number 2 mobile massage service at this point. Are you alright? Are you okay? No, seriously.
Yeah, I'm fine.
What happened? No, seriously, what happened?
Nothing.
Why you got the giggles? I don't get it.
It's just been a good week.
What?
New South Wales winning Origin, and yeah, it's just been a relaxing week.
Okay, sweet. You been alright, Ben? Yeah?
Nah, COVID lockdowns hit me hard.
What do you mean it's been
Don't take it out. Research Guru, how are you, mate? This is a really, really ordinary start to the podcast.
Is this how we're actually starting the show?
I guess so, man. I mean, it can't be perfect every week.
Okay. Yeah.
You alright?
Yeah.
I'm a bit stunned right now.
Yeah.
I'm in a state of shock. It's been a while, Jacob. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Good to be back, boys.
I wish it was under better circumstances.
I know, but it is what it is, and
It's good that we're all in our own houses obeying the COVID restrictions.
Yeah, of course. We're on Zoom as always. But yeah, 76-6. That's the aggregate score, boys, of Origin. 76-6.
It's gonna get worse.
New South Wales.
I don't think we've experienced that after the
Did you
first
hear
two games in a
It's gonna
while.
get worse.
Nah, sorry, what happened?
It's gonna get worse. It's gonna be a cricket scoreline. It's gonna be 100 points.
That's a big, already off the bat, just a big call there. Yeah, I mean, it's unheard of. I think it's the biggest aggregate since before Origin was even, the actual state of Origin was made in 1980. I think 1961.
Yeah.
That's, it's ridiculous. It's the dark ages. We were talking about it before. These are the dark ages for Queensland.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, especially after last year's, sort of win that no one would have expected. A lot of people would have given Queensland half a chance this season.
Of course.
Obviously, they've had a few injuries and a few players playing out of position. But, to be losing by that much, it's not acceptable for a state that dominated for so long. I'm sure they'd have a lot of standards there. And
It's been a long time coming for us, but I mean, the amount of crap we caught. But even when New South Wales was getting clapped every year, we were competitive.
we were. There were sometimes those game threes that we'd, get blown out in at Suncorp. But usually we were a strong and competitive side. But
Most of the time, you go into a decider. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's at the very least, they were giving you a hope.
yeah,
We knew we weren't good, but there was a hope.
yeah, 3-0 was pretty sort of rare.
Happened once.
Yeah,
Happened once in 2010. And that series was very close. It was like a combined margin of 12 points, I think.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
New South Wales were in those games. But, Queensland, this is a new low for them. They were horrible, man. Off the kickoff, I thought the first defensive set, they brought the intensity. They brought everything into it. They were smashing New South Wales that first set. I hadn't seen that in a while.
Yeah, I think they took away from the first set that they had in game one, where New South Wales just rolled through.
Yeah.
And they probably just sort of made a pact there that this is not going to happen again.
And it didn't.
It didn't, but it was just how long could they keep that up for? And New South Wales would have known that. New South Wales would have known they're going to come out firing. Let's just match them for the first 5 sets, and then we'll play our own footy because obviously they're more skillful and, they'll get the better of them. And that's what they did, and Queensland just couldn't match it for that long.
Well, the intensity dropped off after one set.
I like Latrell's emotions after the game and his comment about dissing Valentine's Holmes towards the end. Valentine's Holmes was playing out of position and didn't read
Valentine's Day, who?
Valentine's Holmes.
Who?
Valentine Holmes.
Oh, okay.
No, it was. He's been through a lot, but did you just skip the whole game? I don't understand what just happened there. I don't mind skipping the whole game with you, but you just went straight to the end? That was enough for you?
Are you a Queenslander? You don't want to talk about it? What's going on?
Man,
There was a part in those early stages where I'm not sure if it was the first set. It would have been within the first few though, where Tariq Sims took a strong carry and New South Wales were really struggling to get.
they were
out
on the
of-
back foot. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been off a kick.
Yeah.
And this Tariq Sims took him for about 20, 30 metres, and that just sort of laid the platform, and then it just built from there.
It killed
Yeah.
their confidence.
They're the things that you don't really pay too much attention from because it's still in your own half and there's no try that's scored off that actual play that people sort of forget. But on a field, that's massive for the team, man.
Yeah.
It proved to be big. Yeah.
Also, once again, the signature moment of the game was a defensive effort at the end. The first game, it was, remind me who?
Yo helping Brian Toto out with the tackle on the edge when he
That's
missed
right, on
high
the edge.
ball.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm lost it. And then this time, it was two actually.
Yeah.
Trebojevic on Coates.
Yeah, that was
He
unreal.
didn't have to. He didn't have to go for him, but he went for him.
Coach scores that every day of the week.
And even more so, Toto on Phil. That was a guaranteed try
Yeah.
at the end. Like, he should not have. That's a try every day of the week.
The way he just took that ball was unbelievable.
But man, that just defined New South Wales, I guess, intensity and the want to and the will to keep him to zero. They were mentally on a different level than.
And that's why those players are there. Like, New South Wales could have picked so many players to play for that team, but those players are there just because they're another level. And they prove that because of
Look,
their attitude.
I like Nathan Cleary's efforts of playing the last half an hour, 25 minutes with a done shoulder.
Another thing as well. Another.
Like, he took the game, and he brings me back to a Queensland moment a few years ago. Jonathan Thurston playing with a broken shoulder and still...
That game, game two.
Game two, and still getting Queensland the win, and the New South Wales not knowing what to do. Queensland didn't know what to do with Nathan Cleary when
They didn't spot it.
Yeah.
But even Cleary, man, like he like that game for him, and then obviously we now know the extent of his injury, but it's gonna go down in folklore. Like, for him to play on pretty much a broken shoulder as well. Same thing as Thurston.
So the injury isn't really that bad. He'll rehab it.
But not many people
I've seen
play on them.
I've seen a few people play on them.
Okay, not many players play on them at that intensity, at that level I'm talking about.
Yeah, you make a point.
You know,
He's the halfback in State of Origin. He's got a massive target on his head. So
because it was only 18-0 still. So like Queensland had so much possession in that second half. He could have, and apparently Brad Fittler said he never asked to come off, not once. Like, that just shows you the character of this guy and what he means to the team. Don't forget, before the series, there were doubts over certain players in New South Wales. Do you remember the talk that Tom doesn't want to play Origin, or Manly's going to let him? Like, there was stupid stories coming out like that. But they were actually scared for this guy because they thought he might get injured on the Origin level. Imagine he didn't play. Imagine Toto didn't play because apparently his height. Like, certain players, it's not necessarily what they bring to the team football-wise, it's what they bring to the squad in camp, in the lead up to the game. They bring a different vibe. They brought a different energy to the group. Players like Luai, players like Toto. Last year, it would have been very tense in that camp. The pressure of you can't lose to the worst Queensland team of all time. And it got to certain players in that camp. You had a few new guys coming in with the old guys that were there before. Tom hadn't been there for 2 years. Latrell hadn't been there for 2 years as well. So it's pretty much like a new squad. The way they gelled, man, I mean, you would have thought they did a whole preseason together. Like, I would compare that backline. That backline New South Wales is as good as the Queensland 8 in a row backline. I'm telling you, it's as good as them.
And that's with two centres that are now
Fullbacks.
Yeah.
Like, if you match them up, you want to match them up or not?
Yeah, you might as well. You got Teddy on Slater.
Teddy versus Slater. That's hard. You're going to go Slater, but, I mean, Teddy's not a shit player.
No, he's not, but...
Teddy's really good.
Slater?
Well, he's nearly as good as him. Sorry, did you pick Tedesco?
I'm going to be biased and just go the Italian stallion, Teddy.
Oh, thanks, mate. Would it be Boyd Toto or Boyd? I'm trying to remember who's the left and...
Boyd was the left.
No, would they Boyd Adokar?
Oh, Adokar.
Yeah, Boyd Adokar. You'd go Adokar.
All right, then you'd go Hodges versus Latrell.
Yeah.
I'd go Latrell.
That's tough.
No,
It's a
you'd
tough
have to
one.
go Latrell.
All right, Inglis versus Tom.
See,
It's
we'll
tough.
come back to that one. We'll
No. But what I'm... No, but I'm talking about the sides they played.
Yeah, like marking each other.
Mm.
Oh, you'd have to get English there, really.
But what I'm saying is it's not a foregone conclusion.
No.
You know, it's close.
Yeah.
And this is based off one series victory.
Yeah.
It's a historic series victory because
But
no one's played like that before.
The way Turbo plays in the NRL also adds to the case.
Of course. And then you'd probably go Lockyer over Blue Eye at the moment.
Of course.
But Thurston Cleary is close.
That is close. But you got to remember,
But they did their thing.
We're measuring Thurston went towards the end of his career, not in 2005 when he entered the scene.
At the peak as well, whatever. Like, I mean, what I'm saying is that comparison, it's not like, you can't compare him. No, you can compare him, bro. It's very tough to pick who is who. Obviously, right now, you got Queensland just based on what they've done. But what if New South Wales win another 4 in a row?
Then
do you know what I mean?
Then it's a proper conversation.
No, it's right now. It's a good conversation, bro.
It is.
In 4 years,
in 4
New
years
South Wales.
It'll be a proper conversation.
New South Wales wins in 4 years.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, they won at 8 in a row, didn't they? So, New South Wales should really be on 4 in a row at the moment. But you got to remember that their backline, they're like, 25, 26 and younger?
Yeah.
Be about that?
That's what I'm saying. They've got years left, these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they
Lockyer had been around for like 8, 9 years, and then it kicked in for them that 8 in a row. So, yeah. Like I said, man, I think it's something to talk about because that's how good this New South Wales team is. It's of historic proportion. But we're talking about Cleary getting injured. He's not going to play Origin 3. That's confirmed. Yeah. Who replaces him for Game 3?
Look, like a lot of people will say Wyden just because he's there.
Yeah.
But if you want someone that's going to control the game for you and get to your points and play the footy you want to play, pick Adam Reynolds, I say. The reason why is a big bonus is he's got his number 9 there. He's got Cameron Murray there. He's got Latrell there. So he's played with, a few of these boys, these players.
Makes sense.
He's got a good kicking game. A lot of people respect him.
You can't fault him.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to do much. He
you'd
does not
say
have to
defensively maybe because he's a bit old. He'd kind of be targeted.
Yeah, of
he
course.
has been targeted in the NRL.
Yeah.
For me, not as fast. Nah. But look, for me, I reckon honestly, our Lebanese friend or your foe, Benny, Mitchell Moses, I think he's a big chance, mate. Fittler's Lebanese son, honestly. Fittler loves him. Joey's been working with him all year. And they did mention it. Like, I remember I told you I said that he's got a chance, and then that night, they asked him, and he goes, I'm ready. Like, so you'd think he's in the running for it.
He would be. It'd be between him and Reynolds, I think.
Yeah.
And then
I wouldn't mind seeing him play, man, honestly.
Well, if he does, I hope they win, because the poor bloke,
he'll cop it.
And like with the way Paris been they've played 6 finals in the past few years, and they've only won 1. So,
but you know what? He has played when he goes to a rep team. When he played in Lebanon, he played really well at that 2017 World Cup. And you'd think his game,
Australia,
yeah,
in the 9s.
And you'd think his game has gone to a higher level right now.
Yeah, I suppose, working alongside Joey Johns and working under Brad Fittler, like he'd be a favourite, but yeah, it just depends how they look at it, if they're going to look for the future, because Reynolds probably only has 3 years left.
Yeah.
Whereas Moses probably has longer. And say this happens again in the future, are we looking long term, or are we looking for a short term? The series already won.
The thing is, it goes back even to last week. We talked about Reece Walsh. Yeah, should he be picked? Should he not be picked? Probably shouldn't be picked. But if everyone is healthy in Queensland, would he ever be picked at fullback over Callum Ponga? Probably not. But then where do you play him? It's the same thing with Mitchell Moses. In that era now where Cleary is always going to be picked. Luai is probably always going to be picked with him unless there's an injury. If there's an injury, they put Wyden in there. When does he get his shot? When you wouldn't see him as a 14 there for New South Wales. This is probably the only shot he's got. Reynolds has been there. He's had a crack. He's played New South Wales. Let's see what he's made of, Mitchell Moses. It might even help him for Parramatta in the back end of the season going to the finals. Even though the series is over, Queensland's not going to lay down. Surely they're not going to lay down and let him slap him.
No way. They wouldn't want to lose 3, no.
And it's perfect. It's a perfect scenario for Moses to prove people wrong. that he can handle the situation.
I agree with you, and I agree with you. I'm also going to say Mitchell, but I'm going to say different Mitchell. Mitchell Pearce. He's been there. He's done it. Yeah, his performance isn't great, but he's been in the Origin arena, so he knows what he's in for.
He had his moment, man. You're right. I mean, it probably just because he's got the experience. He got that Origin win finally 2 years ago, but I just think they got to move on.
Reynolds has the experience and he's in way better form.
I think they both got the same. They've got both got that same, I guess, claim to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I wonder. It's interesting because it does change the dynamic. Everything runs through Cleary. He controls the game. He controls the narrative for New South Wales. Well, they're going to lose something, but maybe they gain something else by picking a certain player. I don't know.
I wanted to add Matt Burton to the mix, but he's too young and he hasn't played enough.
You never know, bro. You never know.
Regular games.
If they beat Parramatta, and he's a big reason why this week.
Yeah.
Remember, he was a shot at even getting on the bench.
Number 14, yeah.
All right. Staying on Cleary's injury, going to clubland. Penrith obviously going to hurt from this. It's a massive loss for them. We talked about a couple of weeks ago how, Penrith and Melbourne would handle the injuries. Penrith's now got a cop one, and it's the biggest one of all. He's going to be gone for, 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah, 4 to 6.
You'd think they wouldn't rush him back, honestly, because...
Ivan will rest him for the 4-6.
You'd think so. It depends how they go. Does it dent their premiership chances without him?
Not really.
No, he'll just divert to a different game plan to make sure that they get across the park pretty well.
Well, they didn't play without. They played without him and Luai for a few weeks. They lost, I think, both times, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. They had the whole team out, really.
They did. But then again, you go back to the Storm game when they beat Melbourne at Penrith. They had no Cleary and they won.
And look, the Panthers' next 5 games includes
They're tough.
Parramatta, Melbourne, and the Roosters.
They're tough. It's a tough run home. That's the thing. The next 6 weeks.
Yeah, but they've got a good team. Obviously, they're a great side. If he's out for the next 6 weeks, ideally they want to be winning at least 4. Just to sort of give them that gap between second and
one of
third.
them is a bye, so that's good for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, that'll help.
So they play Para this week. They've got the bye the following week, and then they've got their run.
So, yeah. So they'll play this week and then a bye. That's already 2 weeks. And he's got 4 weeks left. So,
I guess there was fears that he was going to be going for the year. Where are you going? To the cupboard. To do what? Sorry, just it's a bit of a break in transmission.
unannounced.
What'd you pick up there, Ben?
We're drinking bloke in a bar.
Do you reckon we'll get a sponsorship out of this, or? Yeah, like I was saying, if Cleary was out for the year, would Penrith still be a genuine premiership chance?
Yes, but not as serious.
Because if Melbourne, because with Melbourne, you're saying how many injuries they've had, bro. They're still smacking teams. It's a joke. Like
their fullback hasn't played for about 6 weeks now.
Yeah, Munster's been out of Clubland. Harry Grant's been out of Clubland.
Yeah.
They've been killing teams, man. So yeah, like I feel like Penrith, that's their most important player, Cleary.
All their points sort of come through him, really.
Yeah, but if you're versing a big team in a big time situation in the finals without Cleary and it's not going well, if they get ahead, they'll take care of it. But if they get behind, will they buckle? That's the key thing for me.
Well, they did it last year at the start of the year. Cleary was out, obviously, when he was suspended because of those famous TikTok videos. But and they sort of seemed to do okay.
Yeah.
They went on a bit of a streak. So really, if they can just win, 3 or 4 games,
They'll be right.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Anyway, here's an ad from our sponsor.
The following announcement has been paid for by
Body Envy Massage. So we do massages all over Sydney. We're mobile. We come straight directly to you. We take bookings over DMs and text message. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. We've also got a website, bodyenvymassage.com.au. On Insta, it's bodyenvymassage. Facebook, it's bodyenvymassage17. We're mobile all over Sydney, so we travel to the north, to the east.
Sydney's number one.
Sydney's number
number one. You can't get better than this guy. All right, and we're back. Round 16 of the NRL. Tomorrow night, McDonald Jones Stadium, Newcastle, Sydney Roosters versus Melbourne Storm. Well, I guess Sydney Roosters is as healthy as they can be at the moment. Melbourne
obviously still missing Paps at the back.
But they got pretty much the team that's been beating everyone. They got Munster back.
Yeah.
I wonder about Munster, man, where his head's at, man.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything really in Origin, and
He's just been a grub.
been very
He's just been grub, trying to get into the game, very frustrated. I understand why. You've seen it before, in a grand final where he's frustrated, his emotions get the better of him.
Gets him in twice.
They've been playing well without him. I don't think he's 100%, be honest with you. I think his foot's still giving him crap. But, yeah, I mean, for Melbourne to be successful, he's got to be on.
100%.
Yeah.
And he has been doing okay at club.
Mm.
He hasn't really been struggling there. But I don't know if Origin just got the better of him this year and he just didn't perform. But it is a quick turnaround. They played on Sunday and they're back on Thursday. Obviously not as quick as a Wednesday to Friday, but enough time for the boys to sort of recover. Both teams both impacted by Origin, so it'll be fair. But I think Melbourne, just because they're a bit more of a complete side at the moment, will just be a bit too strong for the Roosters on the night. And
the Roosters won't lay down. They've proven, and
they'll show up.
They'll be in the game. I'm hoping for a Suncorp thriller from last year. I'm hoping for one of them.
Yeah, where Paps kicks the winner.
Kick the
yeah,
winner,
but it'll be something along those lines, I think.
I just don't know about the Roosters if they figured out their best 13 with what they've got left. I know they've got a lot of injuries, a lot of retirements. I don't know if Lamb's the answer at 5'8". I think Manu was doing pretty well at 5'8" for them, and they were way more attacking with Manu there.
Yeah, but who would you play in Manu's position?
Suaalii, man. He got the exemption for a reason. He's proven he's good. He's a superstar in the making. I think it's a big game for Lamb. He needs to prove himself here because...
Yeah, well, if he wants that jersey long term, he's got to own it. So, before they go to the market, I guess.
Yeah. I got Melbourne in a close one. You got...
Melbourne by 13.
Plus?
No plus. I'll give you the plus option. But by 13.
Sorry?
By 13.
All right, moving on. Friday night, Warriors, St. George Illawarra at Central Coast Stadium. Research Yuri, you got something for us there?
Yeah, mate. This is the first week that they'll have Chad Townsend and DWZ.
Big mid-season transfers.
Massive.
For the Warriors. They were looking like a bit of strife, but they seem to...
Who they got this week?
St. George.
They
So
can win.
Very winnable. No Walsh. He's going to be injured for a bit. But yeah, Townsend's massive, especially with Harris DeVito gone for a while. And DWZ.
Could be an impact.
He's an impact, I think, on the wing. I think he's going to be massive for them.
That's his best position, having two good halves there.
And yeah.
You know.
And when Walsh's back, you're going to have two to check on the other wing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good back line.
Amazing.
I think that, I didn't say Townsend. I said Townsend was on a great... It's weird. I don't think he's a great fit for the Cowboys. I've mentioned that before, but I think at the Warriors, he's just been there before. He knows what the expectation is. He's playing with really good players there. The pressure's not on him. He's got to do his part, and the rest of it will take care of itself. They've got a really good four-pack. They're missing two because of COVID, breaching COVID protocols.
Is that the Warriors?
Warriors, yeah. I think
Which players?
Curran and...
Aiken.
Yeah. They will usually be in the starting side. But yeah, it's still a strong team. Dufty's back for the St. George Illawarra Dragons.
Other than that, they're pretty complete. The Bellens starting.
The Bellens starting. Yeah, that's pretty big. This will be a good game, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Warriors.
Maguire's back this week as well.
Yep, that's right.
So it's a bit of punch off the bench. And Moana is back too from suspension after the incident with Pap. So
Yeah, I'll go St George just.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go St George. Just give a bit of time for Townsend to sort of fit in and take control of that team again. So St George beating Canberra, give him a lot of confidence going into this game.
The other Friday night game, probably match of the round. Penrith versus Parramatta, Battle of the West. Obviously the big loss, Cleary's out. Burton slots in there at 5'8". Law moves to halfback, it's no difference. And also Dylan Edwards is out. So Brent Naden comes in on the wing. Staines moves to fullback. Parramatta pretty much full strength, except for Reid Marnie. Sevo's back. Cartwright's back on the bench. I don't know if he'll be playing, but he's been listed at 17.
Why won't he play?
Oh, he was dropped, I think, last week. So this is massive for Parramatta because there's obviously an opportunity there to capitalise on Penrith's loss.
Close the gap.
Yeah.
And they've really struggled against the big teams this year. Obviously, bar Melbourne in round 2, but like Rabbitohs.
This is the test, bro. This is the test for Parramatta. If they can win this, you're putting them near that pedestal of they're a genuine chance for the premiership.
Well, yeah, you got to remember that Penrith are missing their 1 and their 7.
Look, Edwards hasn't been great. To be fair, the whole year he's been in and out with injuries. He's been struggling with that. Cleary's a big out, but again, that's what I'm saying. You got their biggest out. If you lose to them,
you're gone pretty much.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
you lose a bit of respect within the league.
I reckon the Penrith will play Viliami as a mobile half, where he'll fill in where he can in his position and play a bit of Cleary's position and get the boys rolling forward.
Who?
Yeah, Viliami kicker.
Kicker playing
They
halfback.
they play on different sides, don't they? Isn't Luai and Kicker on the same side on that left edge?
Did you have an epiphany yesterday or something about Kicker
But
playing halfback?
why would Kicker?
No, that's fair enough. That's his thought.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where'd you get that from, but? Did you just think of it?
Yeah.
Interesting. You have a strange mind, my friend, sometimes.
It's called a football brain.
Fair enough. You know what? He might know something we don't. As we know, he's linked to the Panthers. So
Nicked. Look, just based on that, Parramatta for me. By 2.
yeah, I'm gonna go Parramatta in a close one.
I'm also going to go with Penrith by 10. Look, I wanted to go for Para because Mitchell needs to win to be guaranteed a spot in the New South Wales side, but he also needs to just play his game for Para, even if they lose.
I have a real worry for you at the end of this podcast, whether you can actually muster the effort for your savage take. Saturday afternoon, Bulldogs versus Eagles. Bulldogs got about 10 people that broke COVID protocols. It's a bunch of new names in the team.
There's a few new names there.
Flanagan's back at half.
There's 2 guys on the bench from under 20s.
Yeah.
They've never played cup.
I think Batolo played against Para last week or the
So,
week before.
do you know what's his name? Manu? Is that Joseph Manu? Or is that
No. Kiku Manu.
Look, listen, I don't want to disrespect his name. Does he have a nickname?
Kiku.
Kiku.
It's Kiku? Okay, Kiku. Kiku Manu. I know of Bailey Biondi-Odo.
Yeah, he was at Para.
He was at Para
Yeah,
When?
a few years back.
a few years back. But
he
he's
good?
had some good reps on him. I guess he's his chance.
Why hasn't he been playing?
Topine's back in the team. And Patolo is back. He's in the team.
I feel like they just picked whoever was available.
Yeah,
the 2 players that are on the bench. Why haven't they played cup before? I know that they've been.
She's asked Trent Barrett, mate.
I know that they've been hanging around the first grade side.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, bro? Who bloody knows? I don't know. I just don't know why Ogden and Atoni aren't in the team.
Tony's got a hamstring injury.
But been named on the reserves.
He's got a hamstring injury.
Why is he named on the reserves?
They can name him, but they can't.
If he's
play
injured,
him.
why would they name him on the reserves?
He's named in the reserves. He's not named in the top 17.
Doesn't matter. He's in the 21.
He's injured. End of story.
So why'd
He's
they
injured.
pick him?
Why'd they pick him? Why'd they name him if he's injured? You don't name injured players.
He's obviously not injured. He's obviously can play.
He's got a hamstring injury.
So why would they pick him? They can pick anyone now.
They could have picked you.
I got an injury.
Anyone
too.
that's part of their team, whether they're on a training trial, development, whatever, top 30, they can be picked. He's obviously good to go. Otherwise, they wouldn't pick him. They would have picked someone else.
He's about 2 weeks away from being.
Well, I don't know if it was 2 weeks against Parramatta. It's because it'll be 2 weeks from then.
Jake Trbojevic is not named in the 21. He's injured.
He's obviously not injured, mate.
Trust me, he's injured.
Okay.
You're his doctor. I get that.
Yeah, that's it.
You're his doctor. Manly's winning this. I don't know why we're even trying to make it a contest here. Tom's playing.
It'll be silly.
Yeah, Manly's winning by 13 plus.
I'm gonna put Bulldogs by 12.
You're just an imbecile right now. That's what you are. You're not. Pick up, mate. Who are you going?
I'm gonna go Bulldogs by 6.
I reckon if I ask you one more time, it's going to be a draw. Then if we ask you again, you're going to go Manly. So
who are you tipping?
Bulldogs by 1.
Jacob Manly. Yep.
Yeah, 100%, mate. If Bulldogs win, the show's his from next week. You control. You say what you want.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, fair enough.
But
You've said that before.
We have said that before and it never came to
they've
fruition.
never paid off. That's why we just carry on.
That's a guaranteed bet. People would bet on that every time we've done it and would have had 3 houses by now. Canberra versus Gold Coast. Both very underwhelming this year.
Yeah, they've both been very strange this season. A lot of raps on the Gold Coast. And
Canberra's had the issues, but Gold Coast just, I don't get it. I don't know why
they have a good coach. Everyone speaks highly of him. Good players. I don't know if maybe they're lacking a bit of experience, a bit of leadership.
Well, Brimson's back, so he'll obviously add something there. I don't know.
Against Manly, they were up, 24-8, and, everyone was like, wow, look at them go. This could be it. This could be the start. And
they get flogged
48-24? No, it was more. They would have conceded about 50 points. Or
50, 56 or something.
Yeah.
And then I think, and against Souths, remember that game? They were winning 24-0 at halftime or something, and... Yeah, I don't know. They don't like to defend. Neither does Canberra. So
it's gonna be a tricky game. Very hard one to pick.
Look, just because it's in Canberra,
you'd probably have to just go Canberra. You go from the sunny coast to the snowy state.
I don't think they're gonna like the conditions.
I'm gonna go with Canberra.
Yep. Sweet. All right, Saturday night, Newcastle versus North Queensland. Ponga's back, I think.
Yeah, if Newcastle are going to win a game and try and start something, it's got to be this week. Cowboys had a few disruptions. Their coach, obviously,
that's the
going
big
into
out.
Isolation.
Yeah,
they had a couple of players going to isolation. So if they want to turn things around, it's got to start now. And no better way to do it.
And it's at home, so you'd think surely Newcastle.
But Newcastle isn't consistent at home.
No, they're not. But surely with Ponga back,
and Pearce is playing. And Jake Clifford playing against his old club.
So it's pretty much their spine. Their main spine is back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So surely they play off the back of that and get a win. Just the class of Ponga. We've seen him do it this year when he's been playing.
Do you reckon if he has a good game this week and next week, he'll get picked for game 3?
He's already been picked.
Really?
Yeah, he's already been picked. I talked to Paul Green yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Sunday afternoon, Brisbane Broncos, Cronullasharks. Brisbane got... Did you hear about Brisbane during the week? They had a training session. 4 or 5 players copped serious injuries. Carmichael Hart, Albert Kelly, torn hamstrings. Someone got a concussion.
I think they're going to have a look at that strength and conditioning coach and
something wrong.
Make sure,
Something's going wrong.
He hasn't lied on his CV or something.
I don't know. We've got a big in, research guru. He's got the news for us. Big in for Brisbane.
Tony Staggs.
You've been saying it all freaking night and you almost forgot it.
No, mate. I'm just caught off guard because...
Tony Staggs is back for the
Staggs
Brisbane Broncos.
Back. I'm gutted. I had him in fantasy and I let him go for 8 weeks ago.
Mate, we didn't even know when he was coming back. He should have been back maybe 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah. But, big up for them. I actually hope they win. I think I've tipped them to win.
Oh, sorry, we haven't given your tips. Yeah, Brisbane.
No, I don't like putting my tips in. I like to keep them close to my chest.
Okay, fair enough.
Even though 2 weeks ago I forgot to tip.
Are you still a hope?
No, I don't think so because I forgot to tip for a whole week. No, it's all right.
Yeah, you think Stags brings something to that team? Like, I know he's only his centre, but when he's on song, he does bring something to him.
Very hard to stop.
Wait, do you mind if I do something? If Brisbane Broncos need a new massage company, hit me up in my DMs.
And once again, did you just get this epiphany like 2 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Did you think about it 2 minutes ago when I mentioned Brisbane?
Yeah.
When we spoke about all the injuries, I got a bit excited.
Cronulla, I think they're unchanged. They're on a 4-game winning streak. No one's even talking about them. They've been flying under the radar. Johnson's been awesome for them. Chambers has been really good for them.
Yeah. Chambers, obviously, he brings a lot of leadership to the team, a lot of confidence for those young backs. Connor Tracy as well. You know, he's dummy half for 5'8", and now he's playing on the wing. He's played centre. He's played everywhere. So he's had big shoes to fill, and he's done well. I think Katoa's not too far away from returning.
You wonder why Chambers didn't get picked, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... If you're gonna stop New South Wales, you needed to stop or limit Tom and Latrell. They didn't do that, you know. And Chambers is the only guy you could pick that's a genuine centre that's been there before. Yeah, he's old, but he's still clearly playing good football. I don't like him, but I can admit that.
Yeah, but do you reckon he would have made a difference to that Queensland side?
Bigger difference than Capewell.
Where would you play Capewell in the forwards?
Yeah, of course, that's his position.
All right.
We'll talk about that. Obviously.
Would you also pick Opacek on the other centre?
You may as well at this point.
Nice.
Ronaldo Mulatalo, felt bad for him, obviously, with what happened.
Can you please explain the rules one more time?
I can't. Honestly, I can't.
He has to be in Australia before he's 13. He got to Australia when he was 13 and 10 months. 13 and 10 months, yeah.
But apparently before 13, he had come lived with his brother for a bit. That's a story. But is that considered a resident? Probably not.
No.
So I don't know. But yet no one ever pulled him up when he was growing up, playing rep teams, saying, "Hey mate,
They waited till the last day.
That's a joke. You may as well have let him play.
It's a bad look for the game.
You may as well have let him play. Honestly, the rules got to change. We talked about it a long time ago. But yeah, Cronulla for me, just Cronulla.
Yeah, Cronulla, mate, they're in good form, and Sean Johnson, a lot of weight off his shoulders now with confirming his signing to the Warriors. So
about that, yeah.
I think he'll just play footy and enjoy it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, Cronulla by heaps.
The last game, Tigers, South Sydney. That last game they played this year was probably one of the best games I've watched in a while.
Who, Tigers or South Sydney?
The game they had.
Oh.
Tigers versus South Sydney. Do you remember that game?
You were in the sheds, weren't you?
You were in the sheds.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
You had too much bloke, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Tigers' backline seems to be okay.
Looks pretty good.
Brooks and Emby in the halves sort of found a bit of form a few weeks ago when they played in the halves together.
Is Dewey back at centre?
Yeah, and then you got Roberts in centre with Nofaluma and Mamalo on the wing. So they are a bit more complete in the back line.
Where's Leilua?
Which one?
Joey.
Not in the starting squad.
New South Wales Cup.
Not even in the NRL. So he wouldn't be playing footy at the moment because New South Wales Cup's obviously cancelled for the next 2 weeks. But they're coming up against the red hot South Sydney, who I think are going to go on a bit of a march and a streak here heading into those finals. So
they got an easier run than most. So.
Yeah. I can't imagine them losing.
So if Melbourne managed to put 40 points on West Tigers, how much do you reckon South Sydney's going to put? Because West Tigers' last loss was 66-16.
Yeah.
What do you reckon is going to happen this week?
Maybe 50-16.
Let's hope not, because that would be embarrassing.
And they're playing in front of no crowds at Leichhardt, so that doesn't really help them.
Well, did you massage them at any point in that 66-16?
No.
See, that's why they lost 66-16. They didn't get your magic touch, mate.
Do you really think so?
No.
Thanks.
All right, that's the matches. Benny, up to your segment. I hope you can pull it together for this one.
Yeah, easy.
Because I doubt it right now.
No, easy.
Benny Confidential.
So there isn't much for me to say this
No
week.
no rumours.
No rumours.
No nothing. Okay.
No nothing. But apparently Team Apollo, which is the team that's been organised to put the NRL back together during the COVID period.
Does that still exist? Or
Yeah. It's got Wayne Pearce and a couple of other people in it, and good old Mr. Valandis is overlooking it, and Mr. Abdo. Apparently, they want all NRL clubs' massage therapists vaccinated before they go into the bubble. Like, how? And apparently, the massage therapists that aren't vaccinated can't go into the bubble. There's not even enough time to get like two.
the 2 jabs, yeah.
The 2 jabs, or to get. Let's say each club needs 2 or 3 massage therapists in their bubble, or I think the minimum is 4 for each club, vaccinated in time. Like, you want to give clubs enough warning before you pull things like that out of the hat. Like, these rules came out today. Like, we're due to play tomorrow. Like,
Who's going to massage them?
and these players won't play if they don't get their treatment.
So you think there's a big issue lying ahead soon?
Yeah, there is.
Wow.
So
I mean,
they're lucky that they've got 2 massage therapists with each club at the moment, but
That's how they
if
do have
they-
massage therapists.
they've got 2 in the bubble right now, but they need 2 more for each club.
So they got each
and-
club's got 2.
Yeah, each club's got 2.
Isn't that enough at the moment?
No, it's not, because 2 won't get through the full 17 for game day and for
game day.
for recovery.
Mm.
For game day, they're only 10-minute massages, aren't they?
Some of them get more than the 10 minutes just because of the position that they play and the way that their bodies
but
are.
there's no one playing before them, so they can probably get to the game at whatever time they want.
I don't know about that, but like, you can't put these last minute restrictions in place.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's just it's pretty like it's just a reactionary thing from the NRL.
Yeah, Wayne Pearce and Team Apollo and Mr. Valandis and Mr. Abdo need to take a good look at what they're doing and what they're saying before they say it and put it out.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people, obviously, including yourself, that are part of
that get affected.
That are affected. So yeah, look, I can't help you there. I'm not Mr. Valandis' best mate, to be honest. So I don't. You probably know more about him than I do. Jacob, do you have any contact with Mr. Valandis at all?
Nah.
Nothing. Can't
Nah,
put in
nothing.
a word for him.
Can't say much at the moment. Sorry, mate.
What about research or anything? Can you talk to Mr. Valandis for old mate here?
I've tried before. Didn't work. I'm going to try again.
Fair enough. Sorry, Benny, we tried.
I've tried for you.
But hopefully they listen to it.
You know what? I'll link him this podcast when it comes out.
He's got something.
I'll send it to his email.
Send us his email or something.
peter.valandis@nrl.com.au.
See, I told you he's close with him. Anyway, nothing else, Ben? You had enough bloke in a bar?
Cans of bloke. Thanks, Kempy, for sending out your beers and your lager. They taste
Sending
nice.
out.
He didn't send them to us. When did he send them? When?
I never got the memo. When did he send you these? Bro?
When?
Does he listen to the podcast?
No, I want the answer. When?
No, wait, what you getting bloody? Maybe they sent it to him, but I'm just upset he never told us. Why didn't you tell us? Because he sent them.
Oh, I thought that was sent by Kempy.
Yeah, but why didn't I know about this?
I don't know.
Did you know?
Nah, mate. Did they just rock up, did they?
Well, they haven't been there for 2 weeks.
How'd they get there?
Yeah, they probably came in the white Woolies bag instead of in his proper package box.
So did Kempy send them or not?
I think so.
Oh, we're gonna
Or
have
did
to.
someone buy them from the liquor store?
I reckon someone bought him.
Okay, so he didn't send it.
Why'd you G us up like that? Thought we had a bit of clout. Now we're still struggling here now. Thanks, Ben.
No worries.
Than's Jacob.
Thanks,
Good to
Sal.
have you
Thanks,
back, mate.
man.
Thanks.
Research guru.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Reeses. Thanks.
Thank you.
You've had a rough night, huh?
He just got under my skin from the onset.
Take care. Enjoy the footy.
Cheers.